Side. Hey, Shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. I'm Captain Yadaya, and we're going to go over a class called Honor Amongst Men, all right? Honor amongst men. Many times in Israel, we hear words like honor, godliness, virtue. We see a class say, oh, that was edifying. We throw a lot of words around a lot, and I don't really think that we can truly digest what a lot of these words mean, all right? The word honor is not a normal Negro word. And you don't really see honor in the black community at all. Pull up. I sent you something. Put it up. Let's read that. Honor. We're going to dig into that real quick. Because we're going to find out, is it honor amongst us? Not just the black community, even in Israel. All right? Honor is something rare. Honor is something you got to be, you got to be groomed on how to be honorable. All right? You got to learn honor from those who came before you. You got to learn honor from the bishops, the deacons, and all the men who have been laboring, the women who have been laboring before you, okay? So, let's pull up honor. Let's look at that. Let's look at honor. You got it? All right, read that.
Honor refers to a set of moral and ethical principles that reflect honesty, fairness, and integrity.
Wow. So already it says honor refers to a set of moral and ethical principles. You know, people say that you might owe me $1. It ain't about the dollar. It's the what? It's the principle. It's something that you live by. All right? So read that from the top.
Honor refers to a set of moral and ethical principles that reflect honesty, fairness, and integrity.
Go ahead.
It can also denote a sense of respect and esteem, both self-imposed and recognized by others. Here are a few aspects of the definition.
So before we go any deeper, it says that honor goes into honesty, fairness, integrity. It can also denote a sense of respect amongst Israel, respect and esteem. Remember, esteeming others highly, the mind of Christ. It says both self-imposed and recognized by others. All right, so let's read one. Still breaking down honor. Read one.
Moral integrity. Adherence to ethical principles and maintaining a sense of right and wrong.
So it says moral integrity is going into understanding a sense of right and wrong. So again, going back to honor, because all this is nothing more but a breakdown of the word honor. The very first thing under honor was moral integrity, all right? Because, and the thing is, you can take that down, because the thing is, one thing we got to understand, anybody could look the part. Brothers can have the beard like Moses' big brother Aaron, drenched with the oil, that thing be glistening. Sisters got the big hair wrap like Marge Simpson. But does that make her honorable? Does that make the brother with the big beard honorable? The brother got the crease. His pants could stand up by themselves. They super crease. His pants standing up in the corner of his room. He's like, I'm going to kill them at camp tomorrow. I'm going to kill them tomorrow. But does that make him honorable? That's the question. Give Matthew 23. Because many people can look the part. Many people can look the part. But can you be the part? All right? Can you move in the spirit of the Lord Christ? Matthew 23, let's read verse 25. Because we have people in the past who know how to look the part. But let's see what the Lord said about them.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 25.
Come on.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees.
So Christ said, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees. Woe, destruction is coming. Destruction is promised to you. Go ahead.
Hypocrites.
What were they?
Hypocrites.
See, they were hypocrites, because a hypocrite, he know what to say, but he won't apply. He know how to look the part. He can sound the part, but he's not the part. He can't be the part. He's not really working honestly to fix himself. This is, and guess what? The Pharisee, although they were men, guess what? The Pharisee spirit is on the women's side of the room also. The Pharisee spirit is on both sides of the room. All right? Read that verse again, verse 25.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup.
You do what?
Make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter.
He say all you do is focus all your attention on the outside of the cup. That means what? What men and women can see. Some of Israel spend 90% of their energy making sure they look holy, making sure they look righteous, make sure they look well-aged in the spirit, make sure they look deep. They spend 10% actually going home and fixing back at the wrench. fixing that lying spirit, fixing that slothful spirit, fixing that anger spirit, that envious spirit, that jealousy spirit, that covetous spirit. Many people spend 90% of their time just make sure they got a nice visual perception amongst the body. Make sure my image is good. You hear people making conversations. How's my name in the congregation? What do you mean, how's your name? Your name is tied to your actions. Your name is tied to your patterns. Your name is tied to your character. So why would you ask other people, how's my name amongst the congregation? You should know. You should know better than anybody. But walking up saying, you know, I'm just inquiring about my name. If you just fix the inside of the cup, you won't have to worry about that because those things will change simultaneously. But it says they may clean, which is what? The outside of the cup, meaning they only focus on what men can see. As long as they appear holy, they cool. Even though God is upset with them every single day because they're not fixing their nonsense, they cool as long as men look at them as righteous and holy. Read 25 again.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within,
But what?
within,
But within, go ahead.
they are full of extortion and excess.
You full of secret sin. And you cool with that. You're not bothered by your secret sin. You only bother when your spot get blowed up. That's a lot of Israel. They cool being in secret sin as long as nobody can see. Then they're like, oh man, I'm so sorry. But they say what? They're not really sorry. What they really sorry about? They sorry they got what? They sorry they got caught. That's a lot of Israel. Israel will sin boldly before God. But the moment men can see, now they sorry. Now they ashamed. Why? Because they outer perception has been altered. Read on, watch this.
Verse 26, thou blind Pharisee.
What it called him?
Thou blind Pharisee.
Thou blind, because remember, your eyes symbolize your understanding. So when you okay living in secret sin, it shows you have no understanding. You don't understand that there's a destruction that's promised to the wicked. Because it called them blind because they don't want to fix themselves. Hold that, give me Ephesians 1. Because I made a comment, I said that they don't have understanding. Because your eyes symbolize something. I'm going to show you that. Ephesians 1, read that. You got it?
Sir.
Come on.
Which verse, Cap?
Verse 18.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 18. The eyes of your understanding being enlightened.
So your eyes symbolize your understanding. So the Pharisee spirit does not mind living in secret sin as long as no one knows. They're not upset about when they fall. They're not upset about when they slip into sin. They're not upset when they have a rough week where they losing and Satan. They cool losing and Satan. They cool with that. As long as nobody else knows. As long as everybody look at them as sister holier than thou, brother holier than thou, they cool with that. That's why I called them blind. Living in that spirit, you have no understanding. No matter how many precepts you know, if you're okay living in secret sin, you have no understanding. Let's go back. Go back to Matthew 23. Read 25 again.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 25. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup.
You only focus on your outer image. What people think about you. Go ahead.
And of the platter, but within, they are full of extortion and excess.
You full of extortion and excess. You full of secret sins, and you cool with that as long as nobody else knows. Come on.
Thou blind Pharisee.
You don't have any understanding. Come on.
Cleanse first that which is within the cup.
So what is Christ showing you? Your focus should not be on how people will view you. Your focus should be on the inside, your character, your spirit, your mind, your thoughts, your actions. That's what your focus should be on. And that goes back to moving in that honorable spirit. Read on.
Cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also.
You said that the outside might be clean also. Read on.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchers, which
Hey, hold on. Real quick, IT. I know I said I ain't had no images. Y'all got to put it up. Pull up a whited sepulcher. Pull that up. Because many times we read this, we kind of skim through it. We don't really get the visual of what that really is going into. Pull up a whited sepulcher. Because I know we've seen them before. Y'all might didn't know that's what y'all was looking at. All of us have seen a whited sepulcher. If you ever buried the dead before, you've seen a whited sepulcher. Let's pull it up. I want to see it. I think I got one. Let me see. I do. Let me see. All right, coming in hot, IT. Coming in hot. All right, I just sent 3. Pull those up. A whited sepulcher. He says, people who focus on their outer appearance, but internally they jacked up in the spirit and they okay with that. He called them whited sepulchers. What is that? Is that a compliment? Let's see. Let's see if this is a compliment. That's not what I sent. Pull up the ones I sent. That was all right, but it didn't really look familiar to me. I want the ones I have seen before. Pull this up. Boy, this tea spicy. This thing should have came with a waiver for me to sign. You trying to kill me. All right, blow it up. So that right there, brothers and sisters, that's a whited sepulcher. You see these at the graveyard. Usually the rich folks, they the ones who be buried inside of that. Little old me, you gonna be able to walk over my little tombstone. It's gonna be flat. You ain't gonna know you standing on top of me. But the rich, they got them they bury in sepulchers. You can walk. They're like houses. They're like little graveyard mansions. Pull it back up. Put it back up. You can walk inside. You walk inside. The casket is either inside the wall behind glass, or it's in the middle of the floor like a monument. This right here is a whited sepulcher. It looked beautiful, looked glorious, right? It's so beautiful you forget that it's dead bodies rotting inside of it. Y'all understand? You get lost. You like, wow, that thing is got the reef on the door, 2 statues on each side, big 15-foot door, 2 pillars, white marble. It looked glorious. You forget that it's rotting dead bodies on the inside. And this is what Christ is talking about. This is Israel. Israel looked glorious, but on the inside be rotting dead bodies, and they be okay, rotting on the inside. Rotting in their fornication, rotting in their adultery, rotting in that spirit of hatred for the congregation, despised leadership, rotting on the inside. Read that verse again.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward.
You appear beautiful outward. You appear beautiful outward. Go ahead.
But are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness.
You see that thing? But within you full of dead men. You have not yet learned Christ. You have not yet begun walking in that newness of life. But as long as you look the part, all is good in Jesus, right? Okay. What verse you at?
I just finished verse 27.
Read on.
Verse 28. Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men.
So now Christ bringing that whole thing home. He says, and you, even so, ye outwardly appear righteous unto men. Go ahead.
But within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
And that's what man can't see, but the Lord see it, though. That's what men can't see, but the Lord see it. All right, it says, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Read that one more time.
Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
See that thing? He says, but within ye are full of hypocrisy. And go to Matthew 15. You appear righteous. You appear righteous. Matthew 15, read verse 8. You know how to say all the right things. You always in the right place, at the right time, a right head wrap. Go ahead, read that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 8. This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth.
You see that thing? Israel could talk a good game, a real good one. But when it comes to putting in the effort required to get the job done, to fix their spirit, they don't want to do it. But as long as they look the part, they cool with that. They can check the box. I appear righteous, cool. As if every knee not going to bow before Christ. Read again.
This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth,
Uh-huh.
and honoreth me with their lips.
Honor me with their lips. Did you see Shout Out Tuesday? Girl, yeah, it was, Bishop was going in. But you gossiping, murmuring, hatred. You will undermine a sister so you can be in the office that you desire because you think you can do the office better than she can. You whisper about the sister that you hate in corners. Then she walk in, you, Shalom, Most High, Christ bless. Like a snake with your tongue cut down the middle. You got 3 S's at the end of your Most High, Christ bless. Read 8 again.
This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
When it says your heart is far from God, because you okay with your secret sin. You see, when you got a spirit of honor and you want to do what's right all the time because you know God is watching, and this is God's law. This ain't man's law. So when you understand that God is watching, anytime you sin, you're going to be upset, shameful, even if man can't see it. We all battling, we rehearsing the righteous acts. But some of y'all okay with messing up as long as nobody knows. Y'all don't care that God see. He who made the law himself, nobody cares that he see. That's a wicked and that's an unclean spirit. From there, go to 1 Samuel 16. This is what God told Samuel. Talking about our first king. I'm show you what God told Samuel. 1 Samuel 16. Read verse 7.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance.
What do you say?
Look not on his countenance.
Don't look on his countenance, his outward appearance. Don't look at his face, his looks. Don't look at none of that. Read.
Or on the height of his stature.
Because Israel got a simple spirit. If somebody tall, dark, and handsome, we'll follow him. That's just Israel's spirit. Usually the Jezebel spirit is what? Attractive. Usually she's good looking. She can entice the eyes of men. She can look good in the face of women. And people will follow them. Why? Because Israel got a simple spirit. We will follow people who look the part, people who are attractive. Read that verse again.
But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature.
So God says, don't look at that, Samuel. Read.
Because I have refused him.
You see, God said, I refuse him because his spirit ain't right. Don't let this be you. God says, I have refused him. I don't care how he look. I refuse him because his spirit not right. Read.
For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance.
You see that thing? Man looketh on the outward appearance. Read.
But the Lord looketh on the heart.
You see that thing? God looks at your mind. God looks at your thoughts. God looks at your intentions. What's driving you? God looks at what is driving you. Get that in Jeremiah 17, verse 10. You can read 9 and 10. He says, I don't see the way man see. Man can be easily deceived. Go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9.
Come on.
The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked.
So that's one thing that we all got to acknowledge. That's something we got to understand, that our mind is evil and desperately wicked. Go ahead.
Who can know it?
Then it says, who can know it? You don't even know yourself. The moment you start thinking you know yourself, Satan got you right where he wants you. He got you right in his grips. The moment you start thinking, oh, I would never do that. And I hear some of y'all talk like that. I would never do that. Yeah, okay. How you know? Was you there in the beginning when the end was written before the beginning? I don't think you was. So it's best you just get you a little slice of humble pie, saying what you would never do. Oh, I don't even think like that. Somebody get thrown out for some manner of sin. You talking about that could never be me. Oh, really? Every idle word that men speak, they don't give account thereof. Somebody fall into some sin, you the first one to open your mouth as if you holier than thou. Guess what? You will reap what you sow. Exactly what you plant in this earth. Them bold, proud words that you planted when somebody got thrown out for this or judged for that or corrected for this or demoted, put in a black shirt, and you spoke very proudly. Guess what? Exactly what you planted in this earth. Oh, it's going to grow into a nice tree. And it's going to throw some shade at you. Be very mindful. Read that verse again.
The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Now watch this, read.
I, the Lord, search the heart.
I, the Lord, search the heart. Go ahead.
I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways.
You see that thing? He says, I try the reins. When you riding a horse, for example, you control the horse by reins. Left, right, you pull them. You pull straight backwards to stop the horse. Those are the reins, right? God says he's looking at our thoughts, and he's looking at our reins. What's driving us? You might have said this, but why you say it? Did you say it because you wanted advantage? Did you say it because you wanted to flatter this person because they have a position of authority in the congregation? Did you say it because you want to get put over the kids' room? Why you say what you? That's what God is looking at. Man may not be able to pick up on those things, but God is looking at why you said this, why you did that. What was your intentions? That's what God is looking at. Now, go back to honor. Go back to honor. While I drink my hazardous tea, let's go back to honor. And let's read one. I think the first one was integrity for the breakdown of honor. Let's pull that up. We got to start anointing IT before class start. Israel, y'all got to remind me. Before class, we got to anoint IT. It got to become a normal thing. IT got to get anointed. Every last one of them. The computers and everything. All right, so let's read the first one.
Number 1, moral integrity. Adherence to ethical principles.
Lord have mercy. Oh, boy. It's a great way to stay in shape. Israel, how y'all doing? Y'all good? Everybody good? I see Austin. I see Boston. I see Arkansas. I see Virginia. All praise. I see Denver on deck. I see Edmonton. Okay, all praises. I pray everybody is doing well. We got to pray for IT, family. I see Shreveport. I see Cleveland on deck. All praise. Shout out to Cleveland. All praise to the Most High. I see St. Louis on deck, Indiana headquarters, Kentucky, Savannah. All praise. Tech, y'all ready? Okay, let's put that up. All right, number 1.
Moral integrity. Adherence to ethical principles and maintaining a sense of right and wrong.
All right, so moral integrity, adherence to ethical principles. And we got our principles from the Bible, the laws of God. And maintaining a sense of right and wrong. Okay, let's deal with that for a second. So it's fair to say, you can take that down. So it's fair to say that integrity is not something that you say. Integrity is not something that you do. So it's fair to say integrity is a state of being. That's what integrity is. It's a state of being. It's how you are. It's who you've become. Or maybe who you want to become and you ain't there yet. Let's go to Psalms. Let's go to Psalm 7. Psalm 7. So integrity is a state of being. All right? Psalm 7. Let's read verse 8.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 7, verse 8.
I want y'all to pay attention to something that David said. Come on.
The Lord shall judge the people. Judge me, O Lord, according to my righteousness.
How many of us are bold enough to say that in our prayers? Judge me, O Lord, according to my righteousness. I don't think we're ready. I don't think we're ready to start talking like that. But, hey, we got to get ready, though. We got to take it seriously. That's why we got to fast more, to get certain spirits off us. So we got to pray 3 times a day, maybe 4. Whatever you need. At least 3 is the goal. All right? But we got to get to this level right here. Let's read what David said again. Come on.
The Lord shall judge the people. Judge me, O Lord, according to my righteousness and according to mine integrity that is in me.
You see that thing? He says, judge me according to mine integrity. I live by your law. Your law is the principles that guide me. Your law are the principles that guide me. Go to Job. Go to Job real quick. Go to Job 31. Judge me according to mine integrity that is in me. Because the integrity that was in David, it guided him. Job 31. Read verse 6.
This is the book of Job, chapter 31, verse 6. Let me be weighed in an even balance.
Now that's a heavy. Our forefathers were. These men was on a different level, family. What did Job say? Read again.
Let me be weighed in an even balance.
Job said, weigh me in an even balance. I want you to weigh me in an even, get a good look at the inside of my spirit. See what I'm actually made of. See what I'm actually valued as. When you put gold on a scale, it determines the value. So your value is determined by your level of righteousness. So Job said, weigh me in an even balance. Read.
That God may know mine integrity.
So that God may know mine. That's a heavy saying right there. That is a heavy saying. So integrity is a state of being. It's not something that you do. You see, I saved this little kid from a burning fire. I have integrity. No. We got wicked firefighters in the world. Let's not be simple. Most of them is Edomites, Italians. So what you do does not always equate to a righteous spirit. It definitely does not equate to integrity. Integrity is a godly spirit where you are guided by God's laws, and those become your internal principles that motivate and influence your behavior. That makes sense? Okay, all praises. From there, go to Sirach 23. I'm going to show you the absence of integrity when you don't have integrity. Watch this. Sirach 23, read verse 19.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 23, verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men.
You got some men who don't give a damn about God or his laws. They only fear the eyes of men. And you might ask, well, why are they in IUIC? Well, if y'all didn't know, IUIC is the place to be. Y'all realize IUIC is the place to be, right? It don't take a genius to know that this is the right place with the right people with excellent leadership. We under some of the greatest men. We got 3 bishops. 3 of the most important men on the planet. It's not to be debated. We don't debate with people less than us anywhere. So everybody understands, everybody in IUIC understands that this is the place to be. But the question is, do you belong here? That's the question. Do you belong here? Are you serious about getting yourself right? Are you with the program? Are you with IUIC's core values? Because IUIC's core values line up with the mind of Christ, line up with this Bible. So many people out here, because they know this is the right, even in the 90s, you got trends, phases. People go through the motions. Many people are here, but they're just here. Open their Bibles up, black and white. They just here. Ask them, you got any questions? Nope, they just here. What team you in? What office you in? What are you doing to bring forth Christ's kingdom? What are you doing to put your hand to the plow? Oh, nothing yet. How long you been with us? Oh, 2, 3 years. You're not doing nothing? Nope. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I was talking to one of the officers last week. Interesting. Very interesting. Some people are just here because they know this is the place to be, but they don't want to rise up to the level of righteousness that's required to sit in one of these seats. Read that verse again.
Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men.
Beholding all the ways of men. Go ahead.
And considering the most secret parts.
Considering the things that eyes can't pick up, like intentions, motives, ulterior motives. Go ahead.
He knew all things ere ever they were created.
Now, Matthew 6 and verse 1. God look at the secret things. Matthew chapter 6 verse 1. That's Sirach 23, brother or sister. They don't have integrity. They cool as long as they look cool in front of everybody else. They all right as long as everybody else think they all right. But it never dawned on them to actually fix themselves. It never dawned on them to strive to level up in the spirit. It never dawned on them to strive for mastery. It never dawned on them that God is always watching and every knee shall bow and take account for what he did in this body. Never dawned on them. Read that, 6 and 1.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 1. Take heed that ye do not your alms before men to be seen of them. Otherwise, ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven.
Y'all see that, right? Take heed that you don't move in that spirit. Many people be super Israelite to the max until the trial comes. Go to Job 2. Until the trial comes. Or till the time comes when you get corrected and you don't want to be corrected. You don't want to be told what to do or what not to do. Everybody's super Israelite until their trial comes. Watch this. Job 2, read verse 3.
This is the book of Job, chapter 2, verse 3.
Because our fathers wasn't like that. Our fathers were men of integrity. Job 2, read 3.
And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job?
What do you say?
Hast thou considered my servant Job?
So the Lord said, have you considered my servant Job? Read.
That there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. And still he holdeth fast his integrity.
And he said, guess what? After all he been through, he hold fast his integrity. Read.
Although thou movest me against him.
Although you move me against him. Read.
To destroy him without cause.
You see that thing? So now what verse is that?
Verse 3.
Jump to verse, read 4 first.
Verse 4. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin.
He said, Lord, okay, he stood strong after his trial. Let me increase the trial, Lord. Let me increase the trial. Let me bring a second wave of affliction against him. Let's turn it up a notch. Read.
Skin for skin.
Skin for skin, meaning let me touch his body. I want to touch his body now. Go ahead.
Yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life.
Verse 9.
Verse 9.
Watch this.
Then said his wife unto him.
So this after he got smoked in his flesh, after he got hit with the boils and everything, right? So watch this. Watch what his wife say. Come on.
Dost thou still retain thine integrity?
She said what?
Dost thou still retain thine integrity?
You said that thing? You want to know how you know it's integrity? His sons ain't there to see him. His sons is dead. A lot of his servants is dead. His wealth, his prestige, that stuff is gone. His riches is swallowed up. So why is he still in the spirit? Why is he not cursing God? Why do he maintain his integrity? Because that's who he is. It's not a front. When it's a front, the moment you get touched, the moment you get disrupted, you start acting different. You start getting Sabbath sickness. You don't want to come around no more. You the last one to get here, you the first one to leave. That's when you don't have integrity. Everything is good while everything is good. That's a lot of y'all. Read what his wife said again, verse 9.
Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity?
Read.
Curse God
Do
and
what?
die. Curse God and die.
Read verse 10.
But he said unto her,
What do you say?
thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh.
He like, you sound like one of them in the world. That's what he told her. That's translation 2024. All right? That's the remix. You sound like one of them in the world. You know that, right? You hear me? Say what I said. Read 10 again. Come on.
But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women
You
speaketh.
sound like one of them in the world. Come on.
What?
Uh-huh.
Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil?
You see that thing? Job was a man of honor. Honor don't start with how people view you. Honor starts in your own soul. Honor starts within. Even if men don't recognize it, God recognizes it. Everybody understand? All right, from that, go to 2 Corinthians 15. Honor starts with your own soul. Honor starts with your own soul. We don't use that word a lot in the black community. 1 Corinthians 15 and 3. Come on.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 3. For I delivered unto you first of all that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures.
That's all true. That's not what I wanted. Hold on one second. I gave the wrong scripture. I don't know what I scribbled right there. Let me look at it. I'm going to come back to that. Go to John chapter 13 and verse 34. Come back to that. And I set a trap for myself in my notes. Read John 13, 34.
This is the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34.
Uh-huh.
A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Right, because pull up honor one more time. I want y'all to look at something. Pull that breakdown of honor back up. Read 1.
Moral integrity, adherence to ethical principles, and maintaining a sense of right and wrong.
Read.
respect and esteem, the regard and admiration that one receives from others.
So remember I said earlier, I said that honor starts within your own soul, and then you will receive honor from men. So it says the regard and admiration that one receives from others due to their actions and character. Next, verse number 3.
Number 3, personal dignity.
Right, so I'm not dealing with that one. Read 4.
Fulfillment of duty.
So honor also comes from fulfillment of duty. Go ahead.
Commitment to responsibilities and promises, demonstrating reliability and trustworthiness.
Okay, now let's go back. Because Christ gave us commandments. Christ gave us duties, it's fair to say. John 13, read 34 now.
This is the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another. As I have loved you, that ye also love one another.
Come on.
By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another.
So a part of honor is fulfilling your duty and your purpose and responsibilities. That's a part of honor. One of our duties as an Israelite, especially a repenting Israelite, right? We die daily. One of those things is how we deal with one another. We have the duty to deal with each other the way the Lord dealt with us. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when you mad. Even when you being corrected. Even when you've been demoted. Even when you got passed up on a position or you got made the number 2. Or maybe you were the number 2 and you got removed out the office for a time or whatever the case may be. Our duties do not change when our conditions change. Our duties remain the same no matter what. Job understood that. Many of us do not understand that. Read 35 again.
By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another.
Now let's get Romans 12. For somebody who, I could have just revived they inner Christian. And they're like, yeah, love. I brought her some pizza over to her house after she finished moving. I love that sister. No, that's not what it's talking about. Romans 12, verse 8.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 8.
Start at 9.
Verse 9. Let love be without dissimulation.
Let love be real. Let it be without dissimulation. Dissimulation means fake. Dissimulation means fake. Like a fake person, they'll do things in front of a lot of people so they can look a certain kind of way. They'll do certain things to gain advantage over you, but they don't do things with sincerity. They don't do things out of a tender care for you or true compassion. The Bible says let love be without that nonsense. Let love be without dissimulation, meaning being fake. Read on.
Abhor that which is evil.
You should hate that. Go ahead.
Cleave to that which is good.
Read on.
Be kindly affectioned one to another.
This is one of our duties. As an honorable Israelite man or woman, one of your duties is to be kindly affectionate one to another. Go ahead.
With brotherly love, in honor.
What did it say?
In honor.
In honor. And this is an honorable thing. Go ahead.
Preferring one another.
Love your nation. Invest into your nation. Sacrifice for your nation. Read.
Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit.
See, all these things still show you how to be honorable. Not slothful in business. Fervent in spirit. Remember Christ said, I would that you be hot or cold. Hot is talking about being fervent, hot, fervent heat, hot, fervent in spirit. Cold is going into you what? Maybe it says the heart of many shall wax cold. That means sin, hatred for their people, and many of them are going to betray us. Hot or cold. That's what it's talking about. Read on.
Serving the Lord.
Read.
Rejoicing in hope. Patient in tribulation. Continuing instant in prayer.
Right. So all these things show you how to be honorable. So each of us have to ask ourselves, do we apply the civil and moral laws? Do we prefer one another? Do we prefer the time amongst each other? Or will we rather watch people popping balloons on social media all damn day? Do we prefer studying, reading our 4 chapters, or will we rather watch a whole series of 14 episodes in one day? Do we want to be around the congregation on TGIF on Friday, Thursday class? Do we want to catch the 9 a.m. class, noon class, 3 p.m., 6 p.m.? Or do we want to just do bare minimum? Walk in, Bishop been teaching for 40 minutes. You trying to slide in, trying to duck in, 40 minutes. Bishop been going in the spirit. From the first minute he opened up class, he been going in the spirit. You slide in at 6:40. Somebody, yeah, you know traffic. Why everybody with excuses always smiling? Is it just me? Why everybody with excuses? Yeah, you know that shit, that traffic. Why? I'm sorry, I just got upset. All right, anyway. But you got to watch them spirits. Coming in late for Bishop class and I always got an excuse. Stop smiling at me. Philippians 2. Y'all know who y'all are. Just going to act like it wasn't several classes before Bishop class. Yeah, okay. Philippians 2, start at verse 2.
This is the book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory.
Right. One vainglory is to appear holy or feel like, appear as if you got it all figured out when you know you don't, because none of us do. That's a vainglory. That's a worthless glory to walk around and you maneuver in such a way where it appears as if you got it all figured out. When none of us do, that's not honorable. There is no honor in that. That's a temporary glory. It's a vainglory. Now, go to 1 Corinthians 11. Oh, no, it's more on that. Read down. I want something else on that.
You want to read verse 3 again?
Yeah, you can.
Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
Come on.
Look not every man on his own things.
Look not every man on his own things. Don't be a selfish spirit. Go ahead.
But every man also on the things of others.
Read.
Let this mind be in you.
Let this mind be in you, where you prefer each other, where you love your nation, and you fulfill your duties towards your nation, moral and civil. Go ahead.
Which was also in Christ Jesus.
Because that's the mind of Christ. When you move this way, it shows that you have the mind of Christ. It shows that you're one of his disciples that we read early in John 13, when we read 34 and 35. That's what it shows you. So we have to learn how to examine ourselves, the inside of the cup, before our spot get blowed up. Everybody's so humble when they spot get blowed up. We got to learn how to start fixing our nonsense when you commit the sin. Don't wait till this man know about your sin. Now all of a sudden you so serious about getting yourself together. You so serious about burning the fat when Captain Shem started cursing you out. But all week you've been dunking donuts, literally dunking donuts in your mouth. All week. Krispy Kreme King. All week. Go to Corinthians 11. But when Captain Shem come around, you just head drop down. Yeah, Cap. Yeah, so I'm about to intermittent fast. And, I was watching this video on it. Going intermittent fast. Okay. Because we thought you was in a competition how much you was eating. Corinthians 11. Let's read verse 31. Let's see what the Bible says. Come on.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 31.
Come on.
For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged.
Read that again.
For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged.
One more again.
For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged.
So be honest with yourself first. Be honest with yourself first. Nobody got to tell you your ish stink. You should smell it first. Nobody should have to tell you. If we would judge ourselves, we would not have to be judged. Be honest. A lot of y'all like to live in denial. Go to Sirach 14. How you gonna be real with somebody and you live in denial? Denial is when you will lie to yourself. That's a state of cognitive dissonance. You don't want to deal with the things wrong with you, so you act like they don't exist, but you're the main one who's so vocal in everybody else's life. You're so vocal in everybody else's life. You keep it real. Okay. Sirach 14, read verse 5.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 5. He that is evil to himself.
I'm going to tell you what's being evil to yourself. When you live in denial. For example, you know you're overweight. You pretend that you're putting things in place, that you actually love yourself, and you're putting things in place to burn the fat. You pretend when people who around you actually care about you and rebuke you for your overeating, that's when you pretend to care about yourself. But then you want to be the first one to voice your wisdom and your truth. You want to speak truth to everybody around you, but you won't discipline yourself. This should not be. This should not be. We should keep the same motivation that we have in our speech to others with ourselves. Keep that same motivation. Be willing to do the same things you tell somebody else to do. Read that again.
He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods.
He that is evil to himself, to whom shall he be good? Living your life as a whited sepulcher, rotting on the inside. You're not feeding your spirit. You're not studying. You're not praying. You're not applying. You're not fellowshipping. You're not watching classes. You're not actively trying to build yourself up. You have no integrity. But as long as you look glorious on the outside, you are evil to yourself. And you're going to pay for that. You are going to pay for that if you don't fix yourself. Pull it back up. It was something I wanted to touch on. I think it was in number 4. Let me see. Is that the one? Where'd it go? Read 2.
Respect and esteem.
Hey, scroll down. Hold on. Is it a 5? I think it's a 5. It's not a 5. Where is it at? One moment. Read 4 again.
4, fulfillment of duty, commitment to responsibilities and promises, demonstrating reliability and trustworthiness.
Now read the top again. Honor refers to a set. Read that one more time. Something I want to touch on in the very top.
Honor refers to a set of moral and ethical principles that reflect honesty, fairness.
What it say?
Honesty, fairness, and integrity.
I like that. Read on.
It can also denote a sense of respect and esteem, both self-imposed.
So now, it said fairness. It says honesty, fairness, and integrity. Let's deal with that. Honesty, fairness, and integrity. Because fairness goes into you doing things, being steadfast, speaking the same things, and not being partial. Fairness goes into you being steadfast, speaking the same things consistently, and not being partial. Okay. James 2. James 2. James 2, verse 1.
This is the book of James, chapter 2, verse 1. My brethren, have not the faith of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons.
It says, don't be in this truth with respect of persons. Your homeboy, he commits some sin. Brother, maybe y'all came in together 8 years ago, whatever the case may be. He commits some sin. You know what? You show him mercy. Don't worry about it, bro. Just fix yourself. Brother who you didn't come in with, he been here for 2-3 years. He do the same exact thing. You bring the hammer down. You bring the hammer down. You are like he's the devil the Bible speaks of, the very beast himself. That's called respect of person. You are partial. You are partial. Maybe you in the kitchen. Sister, she show up late to the new moon. She got the pan coming in hot, fresh off the grill. Sorry, I'm late. All is well. That's your girl. She make the best chicken. Your mouth watering as soon as she come through the door. Now you got the sister. She make the green beans. We know we don't like her green beans, but we accept her green beans. She come in just as late. Maybe she was only 5 minutes late. You like, sis, if you can't get it together, then I don't know, maybe the kitchen ain't for you. You know, people start talking with their eyes closed, they for real. If you can't be on time, then maybe the kitchen ain't for you. They make eye contact with their lids. That thing is for real. That's what you call respect. That's partiality. That is not right. But that spirit is among us. We can't be like that. Watch this. Go Leviticus 19. If she got to get out, the sister who made the good chicken, all right, I ain't only want to say it. But if she got to get out with the green beans, listen, all I'm saying is show the same mercy. Y'all know Judah will let that chicken go. Read Leviticus 19, read 15. Watch this.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 15.
Come on.
Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment.
Being a part of being honorable is that you understand that you got to what? You got to measure out the same amount according to the same instances. That's a part of being honorable. You should do no unrighteousness in judgment, whether it's a small offense or a big offense. If you're in that position of authority or you that witness, guess what? You cannot be partial. Read that again.
Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty.
You see that thing, no matter what their status is, you got to deal the same way. Go ahead.
But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
You see that thing? It says, but in righteousness thou shalt judge thy neighbor. So the question might be, why do we act partial at times? Why do we do that? Proverbs 28. Why do we act partial? Proverbs 28. Read verse 21. Why do we do that? Let's see. Proverbs 28, read 21.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
To have respect of persons is not good.
To have respect of persons, that's not a good spirit. It's definitely not an honorable spirit. It's not an honorable spirit. Go ahead.
For a piece of bread, that man will transgress.
You see how having respect of persons is immediately linked to your own personal benefit, your own personal gain? Many times, respect of persons, which is not honorable, is tied to somebody wanting advantage. Somebody wanting a privileged position. Everybody see that, right? Brother might got connections, sister might have connections, or whatever the case may be, whatever she's doing for you behind the scenes, that you move with her a certain kind of way, where you're not fair, where you don't measure out the same judgment according to the same events. It's directly tied to own personal gain. That's why it says, for a piece of bread, a man will transgress. From there, go to Wisdom of Solomon 9. And a lot of times what I see too, single sisters, they'll get dealt with harshly because they don't have a husband. That can't be amongst us, especially you brothers with rank, you soldiers, you officers of 10, 20, whatever the case may be. We cannot be being heavy-handed with a sister because she don't have a husband to stand up for her. That's out of order. That is what you call out of order. And that's cowardly too. You got to watch how people treat people with no power. You know, you go to a restaurant and the waiter come, and she's like, how can I help y'all? Brothers be real rude. Sometimes brothers be rude, heavy-handed. The plate food come out, is not as hot as they wanted. They act a whole donkey. Watch that spirit. That's the same spirit that will abuse children because they don't have power. That's the same spirit that will put his hands on his wife because she don't have power. That's the same spirit that will abuse you because he got more rank than you. Watch that spirit. That spirit is not honorable. And that's not what God called us to be. Wisdom of Solomon 9. Watch how people treat a waitress because that waitress is you when he gets more rank than you. That waitress is you. Wisdom of Solomon 9, start at verse 1.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 1. O God of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who has made all things with thy word, and ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made.
So this is for you brothers. God ordained us through wisdom that we should have dominion, rulership, authority. Go ahead.
And order the world.
And our job, brothers, is to order the world. Before we can order this world, we got to order the congregation. Before we can order the congregation, we got to order ourselves. Get your behind up and go to work. Get your bills paid. You can't be a brother who is addicted to gaming, but you want to be a mighty teacher on the street. But some of you brothers, we got to confiscate your video game because you don't want to go to work. That's crazy. That is crazy. You go to the national Passover, 1 week later, you need help with your rent. You brothers know who y'all are. Y'all are repeat offenders. That is not honorable. You just left the quest. Now you need help with your rent. That is crazy. That is insane. That is not honorable. Read that verse again.
and order the world according to equity and righteousness.
So God ordained man to order the world according to equity. That's what? That's that fairness again. Equity, it goes into fairness. That's called lack of partiality, lack of respect of persons. You're steadfast. Go ahead.
And execute judgment.
And execute judgment with what?
With an upright heart.
You said that thing? And execute judgment with an upright heart. So these are our duties. These are our duties. This goes back to being honorable, something that we don't see in the Negro community. In the Negro community, we never learned how to serve great men with ease. We never learned to stay in our place. We didn't know we had a place. We got a bunch of Indians and no chiefs. We don't know how to esteem a greater man higher than ourselves. We like, who's greater than me? Surely I am the greatest. We don't know how to have etiquette amongst wise men and hold our tongue. From there, go to, give me Matthew 16. Because a part of that honor breakdown, it said fulfillment of duty. I want to touch on that now. It said fulfillment of duty. Matthew 16, read 24.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 24.
Let me make sure I ain't, put that back up one more time. Let me glance at it. It says something about fulfillment of duty. Down. I think it was the last one, possibly. Yes. Read 4 for me, officer.
Fulfillment of duty.
Go ahead.
Commitment.
What did it say?
Commitment to responsibilities and promises.
You said thing, and your promises go to what you say out your mouth. What you say you're going to do, you better do it. Fulfillment of duty, this is how you become honorable. Fulfillment of duty, commitment to responsibilities and promises. Stop saying you're going to do something and you're not going to do it. Demonstrating reliability and trustworthiness. Why do we trust certain people? Because they are trustworthy. Why do I call you for counsel? Because they don't trust you. Can't force somebody to call you for counsel. Well, you know, I'm Officer 10. I just like the soldier should call me. No, he going to call who he trusts. So if he want to call the 20 or he want to call the 50, then so be it. Rank is in place for order's sake, not for us to be lords over the congregation. Now, Matthew 16, read 24.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 24. Then said Jesus unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself.
You got to deny yourself because yourself will come into conflict with your duties. Yourself, your lust, your own desires, your fleshly desires will come in conflict. They will be contrary to your duties as an Israelite, as a repenting Israelite. So you have to deny yourself so you can fulfill your duties as a repenting Israelite. Read.
And take up his cross.
And take up your cross. And now we know that cross goes into ultimately us dying for this truth. But there's different levels to that, because before you can die for this truth, before you take up your cross, can you lose a little bit of sleep? Can you come out and fundraise with us on a Sunday when that's your only day that you got to yourself, quote unquote, yourself? Can you come out and sell some waters and Gatorades in that hot sun? Leave with your nose peeling? Can you do it? Can you do that? If you can't do those things, best believe you're not dying. You're not dying for this truth. Remember, it says, he that is faithful in least, Luke 16:10, right? He that is faithful in least is faithful also in much. So if you can't sacrifice, you ain't going to sacrifice yourself. That's just common sense. But some of y'all like to live in that delusion. You like to live in denial. All right? Read that again.
Then said Jesus unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me.
You see that thing? Let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow. That's commitment right there. That's what you call commitment. 2 Timothy 2. No, 2 Timothy 4. That's what I want. Read verse 5. That's called commitment. Deny yourself and do what you were called to do. Watch this. Read.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4. Verse 5.
Watch this.
But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry.
You see that thing? Watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof that you are in this truth. Make full proof that you're faithful. Make full proof that you're reliable. Make full proof that you're trustworthy. What can you be trusted with? Who can you be trusted with? What office can you be trusted with? Do we got to micromanage the office that you're the lead over? A test to see if somebody is in the spirit. A test to see if somebody is faithful. Put them over something. Does it get better when they over it, or does it get worse when they over it? When they over something, do you got to micromanage it when they are over it? When your superior got to micromanage your office, you are not moving in the right spirit. You are not faithful in that office. When we got to give you ideas and we got to constantly hatch different ideas to you and pitch different tips and advice to you, that means that you're not giving it the thought or the dedication that it requires to run that. You put somebody in place and that thing starts to thrive, it starts to elevate and get better, that's a faithful servant right there. But if somebody get over something, then they superiors and people who not even part of that office got to micromanage it, got to package it up and Band-Aid it every week because it's constantly, the ball is being dropped, things are falling apart. You not in the right, you got to check your spirit. You have to check your spirit. That is not a sign of honorable, that is not an honorable trait, and that is not faithfulness. Drop that, go to Psalms 15, because another thing it said was commitment to promises. I want to touch on that. I want to show y'all something. You said you're going to do something, okay. The Lord is looking for you to do it then. Watch this, Psalms 15.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 15, verse 1.
Watch this.
Lord, who shall abide in thy tabernacle?
So the question is, who going to be in the kingdom? The tabernacle of the Lord is talking about the kingdom of heaven. So the question of David is saying, Lord, who shall abide in your tabernacle? That's what David is asking. Read.
Who shall dwell in thy holy hill?
Who going to dwell in the hill of God? Who going to be in the kingdom of heaven? That's what David is asking. Read.
He that walketh uprightly.
So now we're getting the answers to these questions that David just asked. David said, he that walketh uprightly, go ahead.
And worketh righteousness.
He said that because uprightness is going into integrity. And that can't be seen with the eyes. But when you are walking uprightly, when you do have integrity, it will reflect with your actions. So it says, he that walketh uprightly, that goes and says integrity, and worketh righteousness, read.
And speaketh the truth in his heart.
The meditation of his mind is on God. He's not waiting till his spot get blowed up before he start actively trying to level up and fix himself. He's not waiting for somebody to tell him that he don't study to start studying. He's not waiting for somebody to tell him that he's slothful to elevate his office. His mind is always on the Lord. Read.
He that backbiteth not with his tongue.
He know how to watch his mouth, or she know how to watch her mouth. Because you know sisters with these big mouths in all the congregations can't stop talking. Can't stop talking. Read.
Nor doeth evil to his neighbor.
So it's telling you who's going to be in the kingdom. So if you don't know how to stop backbiting, you're not going to be in the kingdom. Then it says, nor doeth evil to his neighbor. If you don't stop doing evil to your neighbor, whether it's lying, conceiving, evil, surmising, whatever the case may be, whatever it is, if you don't stop it, you won't be in the kingdom. Read.
Nor taketh up a reproach against his neighbor.
And don't take up no slander or no evil speakings against your brother or your sister. Read.
In whose eyes a vile person is contemned.
To contemn is to count it as nothing. So the wicked, you count them as nothing. You're not glorifying the wicked or spending all your days following so-called celebrities, so-called icons, so-called American idols. But many people put a lot of their time into that little device. Gonna get a lot of Israelites killed. That little they call it a smartphone. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's so smart, it got you dumb. Yeah, that's how smart it is. It's so smart, it got you stupid. You don't study. You spend 90% of your free time on this device. You can't wait to get some free time just so you can waste your time. It's on both sides of the room, but heavy on the sister side. Heavy on the sister side. Ask them who was the third king over Southern Kingdom. They can't tell you. But they can tell you what's going on with these celebrities and these different TV shows. I'm telling you. But it's a smartphone. This smartphone got a lot of y'all dumb. Read that verse again.
Verse 4.
It's a whole different class. Stay tuned. Verse 4.
In whose eyes a vile person is contemned.
Come on.
but he honoreth them that fear the Lord.
Now here's the point, because the part I wanted in that honorable was it said that they keep their promises. Watch this, because it's talking about who's going to be in the kingdom. Read.
He that sweareth to his own hurt.
When you swear to your own hurt, that means you're saying you're going to do something and you actually doing it is hard. It's difficult. It requires sacrifice. It might require you to lose sleep. That's the hurt. It might require you to go help somebody move because you said you would, but then you had to pull 4 hours of overtime. You ain't know you was going to leave work that late. But you said you was going to help the brother. You swore to your own hurt. And read on.
And changeth not.
And you don't change up your word. You said you was going to be there. You ain't know you going to have to work 4 hours of overtime. Guess what? Things happen. You did have to work it, but you said you was going to be there for the brother or the sister. You don't change. You still go and you help because you said you would. That's honor. That's honorable. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
These are the people who are going to be in the kingdom. Read.
He that putteth not out his money to usury.
That was all I wanted on that. Hebrews 12 now. He that swerveth to his own hurt and changeth not. Got to stop being comfortable making excuses. Israel be too comfortable making excuses. And we all guilty of it at times, but hey, we got to get our spirits right. We got to level up. More fasting, more prayer. Hebrews 12, read verse 1.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 1. Wherefore, seeing we also...
Actually, 1 second. Hold up. Give me Titus 2 before I even get that. Give me Titus 2. Titus 2, read verse 7.
This is the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 7.
What does it say?
In all things...
In some things?
In all things,
Come on.
showing thyself a pattern of good works.
You see that thing? It says, in all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works. Read.
In doctrine, showing uncorruptness.
Not watching 4 different camps and then trying to bring that filth up in here and into my you confused. We can't help you. You drink 4 different types of water and you come in here, you asking us why you got poison. Because you drinking water from untrusted sources. You don't walk down the street, see a puddle of water and drink it, do you? But just because somebody got a YouTube channel and you watching them. Then you come in here to about, I just, a lot of these scriptures I don't understand no more. Sorry for you. There's the door. It says, in doctrine showing uncorruptness. You're going to get corrupted by watching 4 different people from untrusted sources. The water is the word is the water. You don't drink water from untrusted sources. Some of y'all not strong enough. It's one thing I know some of the senior men, they do it to see what these other camps are teaching. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a lot of you who are unstable. Y'all don't really study at all, but you see another camp in your suggested feed and you want to just click the video and you think all going to be well. It's a great way to stay in shape. And then you come in here twice confused and double stupid. Then now I got to reboot you and open up the door on your back and reset your wires. I'm not doing it. If you think they're right, go with them. That was a rant. Read on.
In doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity.
Gravity and sincerity. Sincerity is very close to integrity because you're not doing things for your own personal image. You're doing it because that's who you are. You're doing it because you love God. You want to be right with him. You're doing it because you actually want the kingdom. Come on.
Sound speech.
Sound speech. That sound speech goes into what? What we just read in Psalms 15. You mean what you say what you mean, and you do what you say. And you saying the things that line up with this Bible. Read.
Sound speech that cannot be condemned. That he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you.
Now, go back to Hebrews 12. Now back to Hebrews 12, verse 1.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight.
Let us do what?
Let us lay aside every weight.
For some of us, your worldly family is a weight. For some of you, your worldly friends is a weight. Some of y'all still got worldly friends in y'all houses every day. Simple as hell. Tell you straight, you simple as hell. No reason. You can't convince me that that's a good idea. I don't care what you have lied to yourself. Not a good idea at all. Destroying your spirit. You will not grow. Some of y'all TV is a weight. Some of y'all watch 4, 5, 6 hours of TV daily. But the elephant in the room is that smartphone. It says, let us lay aside every weight. Go ahead.
And the sin which doth so easily beset us.
And the sin is the problem. It says, and the sin which doth so easily beset us. Easily. We know exactly what bothers us. We know exactly what hinders us. Somehow we continue to fall to it. You have a bright idea. You know what? I'm going to stop going over there. That's what I'm doing. I ain't going to that person's house ever again. 2 weeks later, you right back right there. Like, how did I get over here? Why am I even here in the first place? That's why it says the sin that does so easily beset us. Because we start to feel like we got sin figured out. And the moment you start thinking like that, guess what? 9 times out of 10, sin got you figured out. And you can be falling right back to that same sin. Read on.
And let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
It says, let us run with patience. Run with patience. Stop comparing yourself to somebody who's close to the finish line. Stop comparing yourself to somebody who can take off faster than you. You just run the race with patience. Run the race with patience. Stop comparing. Stop being covetous about this person's gift or this person's house or this person's ability and that or that. Stop worrying about that. You run the race with patience. According to what you know, apply and continue to build on that foundation. Read.
Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God.
Christ ran a perfect race and got the glory. Come on.
For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself.
Christ endured and ran a perfect race against all odds. Come on.
Lest ye be wearied.
It says, consider Christ. Consider his example. Consider his life, lest you be weary, because you ain't went through nothing in comparison to what he went through. And in spite of all those odds, the works that he did, remember, read that in John. Give me John, the last verse of St. John. In spite of all Christ went through, he still did more work. I got to just read the verse. I can't even say it better than the verse can say it. Read that.
This is the book of John, chapter 21, verse 25. And there are also many other things which Jesus did.
It says many things that Christ did that's not in the 4 Gospels or anywhere in the Bible. It says there's many other things which Jesus did. Read.
The which, if they should be written, every one.
If every work of Christ was written, every single thing, read.
I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written.
Wow.
Come on.
That's a bomb drop. That's a nuclear bomb. Christ had so much works that it would take more books than this earth could hold to write everything. But he had what? It says he endured such contradiction of sinners against himself. He had the highest men of status of our nation hunting his steps. Then he got tortured by 2 different armies, Pilate's men and Herod's men, for doing absolutely nothing, for raising up his nation, for teaching his people, for keeping all of God's laws and commandments perfectly. That's why it says, consider him lest you be weary, and you ain't done nothing. I could buy a journal from the 99-cent store and write down your works on the first page, back and front. Got all your works. You ain't done nothing. I myself, I ain't done nothing. But that's why it says, consider Christ, lest you be weary, thinking that you done something. We ain't done nothing. Read again, verse 3.
For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds.
So thing, lest ye be weary and faint in your minds. Maccabees 2. We almost done. Maccabees 2. Let me verse 42. Yep, First Maccabees. Chapter 2, read verse 42. Watch this.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 42. Mm-hmm. Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians, who were mighty men of Israel, even all such as were voluntarily.
They were what?
Voluntarily devoted unto the law.
It says they were voluntarily devoted to the law. Voluntarily devoted to the law. Verse 50.
Verse 50. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law.
No. Be weary and faint.
Be ye zealous for the law.
When you zealous, you encourage. When you zealous, you full of determination. You bold. It says, be ye zealous for the law. Go ahead.
And give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
You see the thing? And give your life for this truth. That's what it's talking about. And there's stages to giving your life. It starts with you giving your time. Then it starts with you sacrificing other things to make more time for this truth. Then it starts with you being dedicated to the things that you have put your hand to, the things that you have said you were going to do, your offices, your teams, your whatever it is. Studying, reading, developing yourself so you can bring forth more fruits. This is what we've been called to do. And this is how you become an honorable plant. God says he planted us an honorable seed. Pull it up one last time. There's one more part I wanted to touch on. There was one more thing. Pull that back up for me. Down. Go down. Yes. Read 4. I want the bottom. Read the whole thing, though.
Fulfillment of duty, commitment to responsibilities and promises, demonstrating reliability and trustworthiness.
All right, stop. So it says demonstrating reliability and trustworthiness. A lot of times I want to know, man, how do I get people to trust me? Listen, you're not gonna get nobody to trust you. Trust is something that just comes freely, and usually it comes. You can take that down. Usually, trust comes after a trial. How you reacted to it. Did you stand in spirit? Did you betray? Did you speak evil? Did you act a plumb fool and forget all your understanding? Did the sun go down on your wisdom? So trust is something that comes after a trial. Trust comes with time and trials. All right? Go to Sirach 6. Because that's a part of honor as well. Trustworthiness. But how do you get that part of honor? It comes with time. It comes with trials. Sirach 6, verse 7.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
So it says, be not hasty to credit him. Don't be hasty to say, that's my best friend forever. You've known him for a couple of years. That's your best friend forever? Word? You've been knowing him for a couple of days, couple of months? She just got here. Y'all the same age, so now y'all BFFs. Y'all texting every day. She smelled like the world. She been here for 2 Sabbaths. But because y'all the same age, y'all like the same things, y'all dress the same, y'all graduate the same year, you just choose your best friend. And I see that a lot on the sister side. Sister come in, same age. It'd be one sister, might be 21, 22. Been in the body for 8 years since she was a kid. Sister come in her same age, they inseparable. Sister been here for all of 1 month, 4 Sabbaths. Sometimes not even 4 consistently. See her 1 week, don't see her the next week. And her and that sister be inseparable. Hasty to credit. Hasty to credit. And remember, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. So how you going to become friends with somebody who's been here for 4 Sabbaths? Now, we all got to start somewhere, but that's not wise, brothers and sisters, to join ourselves to new spirits. Remember, it says, you shall enjoy the old wine. Actually, finish this. There's more on that. Watch this. Come on.
Verse 8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion.
Some man is a friend for his own occasion. Go ahead.
And will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
This is why you can't be hasty to trust somebody. You trust those who are honorable. Read.
And there is a friend who being turned to enmity and strife.
It's a friend that'll flip on you. That's what it's saying. It says there's a friend who is turned to enmity and strife, meaning they will flip on you at random. You don't know what's going on. And what they going to do then? Read.
Will discover thy reproach.
Everything you done told this person, everybody going to know. It might be on social media. They might post receipts of every text that was ever sent. They might post all the receipts. Y'all thought this about Sister Mary. Well, let me tell you, she is no friend of Christ. Some of y'all going to learn the hard way. That's the only way Israel be learning. Sirach 12 now. One thing I know about the nation of Israel, we are gluttons for pain. Gluttons for pain. We do not learn until we bump our head 1,000,000 times. Sirach 12, verse 8.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 8.
Read.
A friend cannot be known in prosperity.
That's why everybody does not get your trust. Everybody does not need or deserve your trust. The Bible says a friend cannot be known in prosperity. You don't know somebody when all is well, when all is swell. You don't know somebody. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, right?
And an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity.
But when you low, you're going to know exactly who your enemies are. You're going to know exactly who got a problem with you. You're going to know exactly who always hated you the moment you're in position for them to kick you while you're down. You're going to know. Read it again.
A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity.
And an enemy cannot be hidden. You're going to know exactly who your enemy is the moment he got some power over you. You're going to see his face daily. He's going to exercise his authority over you. Now, Judith 8. In order for us to gain trust, we have to be an example at all times, not just when it's easy. Judith 8, read 24.
This is the book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 24. Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren.
Let us do what?
Show an example to our brethren.
We have to be an example to our brethren. Go ahead.
Because their hearts depend upon us, and the sanctuary, and the house, and the altar rest upon us.
It says, let us show an example to our brethren. Go to 2 Timothy 2. Let's hold Judith, though. We're going to come back to that. Let us show an example to our brothers. We got to always remember we are always being an example. Hopefully you being an example of what to do and not of what not to do. But either way, we all going to be an example. 2 Timothy 2, read verse 10.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 10.
This is what we got to remember. Watch this.
Therefore, I endure all things for the elect's sake.
Paul said he endured all things for the elect. Paul understood that somebody was always watching. Israel is always watching. When you think they're not watching, that's when they really watching. That's when they really paying close attention. Read that again.
Therefore, I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Christ Jesus with eternal glory.
You see that thing? So he makes sure that he give a perfect example because he knows people are watching. He wants his people to get the kingdom. So he showed them a proper example. That's heavy. Let's go back. Judith 8, read 24 again.
This is the book of Judith, chapter 8, verse 24. Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren, because their hearts depend upon us, and the sanctuary, and the house, and the altar rest upon us.
Come on.
Moreover, let us give thanks to the Lord our God, which trieth us, even as he did our fathers.
Why you got to try us? To see if we're going to be found faithful. To see if we will be found faithful. Read.
Remember what things he did to Abraham and how he tried Isaac.
He told Abraham to sacrifice his own son. Imagine what Abraham's head was at. But he did it, though, because he was faithful. He was honorable. Read.
And what happened to Jacob in Mesopotamia of Syria when he kept the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother.
Read.
For he hath not tried us in the fire as he did them.
Ain't none of us been through nothing close to what Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob went through. Especially Abraham and Jacob. Abraham with the being commissioned to sacrifice his son, and Jacob under that nigga Laban. Laban was a whole nigga. I'm sorry, I just got flashbacks of that history. Laban was a whole nigga. I done met some half niggas before. Some of y'all in here. But Laban was a whole nigga, y'all. And then he gonna catch him to my where you take him. I'm about to see, y'all gotta pull me back. I'm about to go into the history. Read 20. He gonna say, where you going with my kids? Like them one Jacob. Oh my goodness. Read 27 again.
Verse 27.
Come on.
For he hath not tried us in the fire as he did them.
So we ain't been through nothing close. Read.
for the examination of their hearts.
So everything that you go through is for the examination of your heart, which is why I said earlier, trustworthiness, you don't get that until after what? You've been here for time consistently and how you respond to your trials. All right? It says he tried, why? For the examination of the heart, the mind, your character. Can't really see what somebody is made of when everything is good. People could play the part when all is well, but how do they act when SHTF, when S hits the fan? How do they act? Read.
Neither hath he taken vengeance on us,
Read.
but the Lord doth scourge them that come near unto him.
Y'all see that thing? So we think the longer we in this truth, stuff gonna get easier and easier. That's not what the Bible says. It says God, he scourges. A scourge is an instrument of torture. It don't feel good. It says God scourges those who come near to him. So the closer you get to God, guess what? You're going to go through some pain. It says God doth, the Lord, read that bottom part, but the Lord.
But the Lord doth scourge them that come near unto him.
So everybody want to get close to God. I want to get close to God. I'm praying, Lord, I want to get nearer to thee. Sam Cooke, right? Okay. It says the Lord doth scourge them that come near unto him. You're going to go through some stuff. Read.
To admonish them.
And he's correcting you. He's bettering you. He's purifying you. Job 23. Just about 2-3 scriptures. I'm almost done. 2-3, maybe 4. I'm almost done. Job 23, read verse 10. I'm almost finished.
This is the book of Job, chapter 23, verse 10.
Come on.
But he knoweth the way that I take.
Job says he knows the way that I take. God knows me, and he knows how I walk. Read.
When he hath tried me.
Once he have tried me. Read.
I shall come forth as gold.
You see that thing? He shall be trustworthy, because he's going to be a better man afterward. Afterward. Everything God is doing, God is molding us. We got to be able to go through it with integrity and honor. Sirach 27. Many of us think just random things just happen. Oh, this just happened, and my supervisor giving me a hard time. He talking to me crazy. I got to be patient. Yeah, that same patience that you show with him, you show that in this congregation. God is a mastermind. And then you show that with your wife. Yeah, I had this job. I was there for 10 years, and they fired me. Now I got to work over here. I got to learn a new skill. Okay, yeah. Come to the body, and now you realize that you're not an old dog that can't learn new tricks. We need help in this office over here. You can learn that as well. The same way you are flexible mentally at work and to put food to your mouth, do it for the Father's business also. You just learn about yourself. Okay, all praises. New skill unlock. You just hit a spiritual checkpoint. Now use that in the body and bring forth fruit. Everything God does, it's a purpose behind it, but we got to have eyes to see it. Sirach 27, read verse 5, watch.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 5. The furnace proveth the potter's vessels, so the trial of man is in his reasoning.
The his is talking about God. God is always trying man. The same way the furnace will show what something is really made of, if it's valuable or not, which is gold is the most valuable. You put gold in the fire, impurities melt off of it. It becomes pure gold, right? It says the furnace proveth the potter's vessels, so the trial of man is God's reasoning. So God will put you in some tough situations, some heated situations to bring out the best in you and to remove all impurities. Once you realize that, it'll help you be patient as you go through your purifying process. All right? Go to 2 Timothy 2. 2 Timothy 2. Read verse 20.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 20. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver.
The great house is talking about Israel. And in Israel you have many different congregations. It says, in the great house there are not only vessels of gold, read.
And of silver, but also of wood and of earth.
Read.
And some to honor.
And what?
Some to honor.
Read.
And some to dishonor.
So all of us want to be the gold. All of us should want to be the silver. All of us should want to be the honorable spirit. That's what all of us should be striving to be. All right? But guess what? There is going to be some wood. There is going to be some dishonorable. There is going to be some earth. There is going to be some dung amongst us. So everybody got a part to play. Everybody has a part to play. Your next week is a direct fruit or a direct result of what you put in this week. So you want to be goal? Okay, you got to do goal-like activities. You got to study. You got to pray. You got to apply. You got to unplug from the world. Unplug from distractions. Unplug from foolishness. Unplug from family. Unplug from friends. Unplug from your secret sin. And then you'll be a better spirit next week. And you'll continue to level up. From there, go to Psalms 119, 109. Psalms 119, 109.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 109.
Go ahead.
My soul is continually in my hand.
No. I want to level up. Lord's will.
My soul is continually in my hand.
No, I want to be honorable. Lord's will.
My soul is continually in my hand.
God says your soul is in your own hands. I want to be able to remember the scriptures, but you spend all day watching TV, playing video games, on social media, listening to worldly rap music. Your soul is in your own hands. You are a result of what you've been doing. That's what you are. And you are the reason why you are either honorable or dishonorable. You are the reason. Read it one more time.
My soul is continually in my hand.
Your soul is continually in your hand. Read.
Yet do I not forget thy law.
Okay, last scripture. Sirach 1. Sirach 1 and verse 11. Because the bottom line for us to walk in honor, for us to move in a spirit of sincerity and integrity, this is the one key influence that's going to keep you focused, keep you grounded, and keep you in the spirit. Read this.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 11. The fear of the Lord is honor.
Read again.
The fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing.
Read.
The fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart and giveth joy and gladness and a long life.
Read.
Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death.
Read.
To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb.
All right, Israel, so I pray that was edifying. I pray y'all got something from the class. Never give up, never give in, stay in the spirit. All right, and with that, we say shalom. Most High Christ bless.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.